follow me right over here. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Nancy Steeves, and on behalf of Dee's family and the spiritual community of Southminster Steinhauer United Church, I'm honored to host our celebration of Dee's life. Whether you're present with us in this room or you're joining us online from wherever you are, for each of us, however we are here, this is time out of time. And this is a sacred space where we pause with each other to grieve the profound loss of Dee's life and to share the sadness that we feel that death brings. And even as we do that, we recognize that death is just the occasion that gathers us. Life is the reason we're here. Dee's life is the reason we're here. And we're here to find comfort in our memories. And we're here to express our gratitude, to learn the legacy of her remarkable life, and to lean into the strength of who we are together as a community of grief and a community of gratitude. Today, death gathers us to recognize the completed circle of a lifetime. We honor the gift of time, the circles and the seasons of our lives, the sacredness of life and the sacredness of death, sacred in our birthing and in our dying, and sacred in the relationships that carry us from the miracle of our arrival to the mystery of our departure. We come to this time with deep respect for the land that raises us, the land that holds us, the land that opens to feed us, the land that receives us again when our lifetime is complete. Those of us who are gathered in Southwest Edmonton here acknowledge that we are on the storied lands of Cree and Métis people. We honor all the First Peoples of this Treaty 6 territory, those who were first to learn its wisdoms and its medicines, its teachings, and receive the generations of migrants, all of us who've come to call this place home. So many things bring us here today. Faith brings us here. Faith in the sacredness of life and the sacredness of death. Hope brings us here. The hope that our lives make a difference and they light the path for those who come beyond us. But above all, love brings us here. Love for Dee, those she loved, love for life, the love of family and friends, the community that holds us in our celebrations and in our sorrows. And we can't truly honor the mystery of death without recognizing the miracle of life, the long story of becoming, the deep mystery from which we come and which we live and to which we return. And so we light a candle for the mystery that animates all things. All of our names for this mystery are inadequate. But like a fire, life both consumes us and transforms us. And like a flame, we're each born to shine in our time. May this first flame we've lit this afternoon remind us of our long cosmic story, a story so much longer than the longest of lifetimes, the long story to which we and Dee belong, the mystery of our mortality, with the gift of a lifetime in which to live fully and love deeply. In the midst and presence of that mystery, I invite us to center ourselves with words that we might think of as prayer this afternoon, offering them together either from the screen behind me or from the bulletin in your hand. We offer these words in our many voices and in one spirit. In the long story of life, we come with gratitude for the love that lights our way. We cherish the gift of time, and we honor the mystery of death. As we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, may we move through sorrow to celebration. Together, may we find the courage to mourn and to celebrate, to laugh and to cry, to be alone with our thoughts, and to lean into the community of care we create with one another. May we trust the circle of life as we are held in the truth that death does not have the last word, because love lasts forever. Memory is one of our great treasures in life. By the power of memory, we're able to bring the past forward into the present and carry it into the future. Memories held in our senses. The smell of a fun and festive meal Dee enjoyed. The sight of something she would have loved. The sound of a piece of music that would have made her heart soar. A taste she'd savor. An adventure that would have inspired her navigational skills and her curiosity. A beloved one that would bring a smile to her face. As we gather with each other this afternoon, we are a community of memory, each of us holding our own particular memories with their exquisite pain and their unending joy. So we light the candle of memory. That its power might remind us of our shared memories, their power to heal and to comfort, their power to take us into tomorrow with the wisdom of yesterday and the strength of today.
I was walking home from school on a cold winter day. I took a shortcut through the woods and I lost my way. It was getting late and I was scared all alone. Then a kind old man took my hand and he led me home. Mama couldn't see him, but he was standing there. I knew in my heart he was the answer to my prayer. I believe there are angels among us, sent down to us from somewhere up above. They come to you and me in our darkest hours to show us us with the light of love. When life had troubled times and had me down on my knees, there's always been someone to come along and comfort me. A kind word from a stranger to lend a helping hand, a phone call from a friend just to say I understand. Now, ain't it kind of funny at the dark end of the road, someone lights the way with just a single ray of hope. Hey, I believe there are angels among us, sent down to us from somewhere up above. They come to you and me in our darkest hours, show us how to live, teach us how to give, guide us with the light of love. Where so many faces show up in the strangest places, grace us with their mercies in our times of need. Hey, I believe there are angels among us, sent down to us from somewhere up above. They come to you and me in our darkest hours, show us how to live, teach us how to give, and guide us with the light of love, and guide us with the light of love.
I've learned that people will forget what you have said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. This quote by Maya Angelou reflects the impact that Dee had on those in her life. My name is Lois Shaw, and I was honored when my sister Joyce asked me to do the eulogy today. When I was practicing, I did this way closer to the end. Over the 35 years that Dee has been part of our family, we've been blessed by her caring, positive nature and the love she willingly shared. She had a way of connecting with others that made them feel appreciated and special. And she was especially kind to our 4 kids and 9 grandkids, remembering birthdays and special occasions and being there for the big celebrations. Her sassy sense of humor and wholehearted laugh reached across the miles from Edmonton to our home in Toronto. And I didn't think I'd need a second to do this. And one only has to look around this room to see Dee's love that has touched many lives, and it would bring her such joy to see all of you here today to celebrate her life. Dee's life began on May 25th, 1946. She was born in Pouskoupi, BC, the youngest of 3 children. When she was just 6 months old, her father passed away suddenly, and her mom moved the family to Edmonton to live with grandparents. In spite of the challenges the family faced, Dee's mom made sure that they made an annual trip to Cooking Lake for a holiday. Extended family would come and join in the fun, and Dee treasured that time away from the city. This began her appreciation of outdoor enjoyment. Of all the outdoor activities that Dee enjoyed, her favorites were the monthly wiener roasts with the Wildhood women and other large group picnics with friends, but most of all, geocaching. For those of you who aren't familiar with geocaching, it's a fun way to explore the outdoors and use GPS coordinates to search for hidden treasures or caches. Dee's stubbornness reared its head when it came to finding a cache, for she hated to go home empty-handed. But that rarely happened. The caches are hidden around the world, and this passion took Dee from Seattle to Nova Scotia and many places in between. Every journey Joyce and Dee took included a search for a new cache. Now, it helps to have a sharp mind and a good memory to succeed at geocaching, and Dee had those in spades. Most of Dee's working life was spent in the health field, starting with a career in histology. She worked with Casper & Associates for 25 years, and when that company closed their doors, she moved into other areas of healthcare. Regardless of where Dee worked, whether it was studying cells under a microscope or interacting with patients, she lived her belief that every individual is a valued human being and much more than just a number. Test results for histological procedures were communicated as soon as possible, and every patient was treated with respect. Dee's last position as medical office assistant extraordinaire for Dr. Sherrick was no doubt her favorite job. Even after retiring, Dee's patients greeted Dee with delight in the shopping mall, and staff continued to reach out to her in friendship. Dee's affirming nature and commitment to hard work fostered a community of caring around her. Dee embraced life with commitment and heart, especially in her relationship with Joyce. Together, they built a bond of strength and community. That they shared with all they knew. They celebrated every season and holiday enthusiastically, with Dee purchasing any decoration needed to design a festive home. Now, it was a delight to share one of those festive times with Joyce and Dee, to be awed by the detail and creativity of the decor, and I'm sorry to say, Joyce, I know that was all Dee. And feel the warmth of the season that they created. The table setting would put Martha Stewart to shame, and of course, the feast was delicious. A hostess with the mostest, Dee had a true sense of hospitality. Dee experienced considerable loss towards the end of her life, with the sudden passing of her sister, Betty Lou, on Easter Sunday, and her brother-in-law, Wayne, several weeks after. She was heartbroken that she was unable to attend the celebrations of life due to her own illness. And our heartfelt sympathy goes to Wayne and Todd and your families. And may you remember with fondness those that have gone before you. As we remember Dee today, we would like to thank those of you who have walked with Joyce and Dee over the past 6 weeks. Dee was blessed with many visitors, messages, and acts of kindness in the hospital, all of which helped ease her spirit as her condition progressed. Those who spent time with Dee in the last days shared a bond with her beyond words. We are grateful for your support and love. We would like to thank Dr. Sherrick for sharing her medical expertise and friendship with Dee. I know it provided Joyce with solace as the medical teams searched for answers. We would also like to thank Hina for being attentive to Dee's needs, Wayne for his continuous concern for his aunt, and Lori and Marguerite for supporting Joyce in the first few days after Dee's passing. Thank you to all of you for being here today, especially those that have traveled a considerable distance. Dee was a woman that recognized and valued the goodness in everyone. And she would be honored with the thoughtfulness and love shared as we celebrate her life today. Dee, may you rest in peace.
Gratitude is a spiritual practice. It is to our spirits what oxygen is to our bodies. Today is not only a day for grief, but also a day for gratitude, for Dee's light in the world, her creativity and her compassion, her kindness and her sense of fairness, her love for family and friends, her capacity for adventure, her delight in discovering hidden treasure. For all this and more, we light the candle of gratitude. May this flame remind us of our deep gratitude for Dee's life and the difference she made in each life that she touched. Today is a day for hearing wisdom that helps us live the legacy we learn in Dee's life. Part of that legacy was her capacity for kindness and her mentorship to us in kindness. We share these words that come from Naomi Shihha Nye in her poem entitled Kindness. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolve in a moment, like salt in a weakened broth. What you held in your hand and you counted and carefully saved, all this must go so you can know how desolate the landscape can be between the regions of kindness. Before you know kindness as the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow as the other deepest thing. You must wake up with sorrow. You must speak to it until your voice catches the thread of all sorrows and you see the size of the cloth. And then it's only kindness that makes sense anymore. Only kindness that ties your shoes and sends you out into the day to gaze at bread. Only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, it's as if it is I you have been looking for. And then it goes with you everywhere, like a shadow or a friend.
The sun will be shining, 'cause I feel that when I'm with you, it's alright. I know it's right. And the songbirds keep singing like they know the score, and I love you, I love you, I love you, like never before. Keep singing like they know the score, and I love you, I love you, I love you, like never before, like never before, like never before.
Let's offer our gratitude as we offer our prayers of thanks for Dee's life, for all that we have learned and experienced in her. As life and death take one another's hands, we pause prayerfully, knowing that life and death have some very necessary arrangement between them. So we come to this reflective time knowing our connection to life with earth as our cradle, the stars and sky our blanket, the creatures of land and sea and air our siblings. And we center ourselves in sacredness as we embrace our gratitude for Dee's life. And we seek shelter with one another in our sorrow. We come with full hearts for the life she's lived, for the way life expressed itself in her relationships as a daughter, a sister, sister-in-law, aunt, partner, beloved spouse, co-worker, and friend. For meeting life with such a positive spirit, for making people feel like they matter, for the ways she cared for patients and co-workers in her workplaces, for her generosity with her time and her energy, with whatever she had, for her capacity to celebrate every season with flair and decor, for her trustworthiness and unforgettable kindness, for all that made her unique and allows her light to shine so brightly in our memories. We're filled with gratitude this day. And we bring our prayers as expressions of our care for her family, for her beloved partner Joyce, for her nieces and nephews Lisa, Todd, and Wayne, for her sister-in-law Lois, for all her extended family and her community of friends, for all of us who've been touched by her life and are grieved by her death. May there be comfort in our memories and strength in our support and care for each other. And may the hope that we share here encourage us in the work of our grief. And peace that is beyond understanding be our spiritual home today and in the difficult days to come. We pray that it may be so. Amen. As we know, death has a way of sifting the essential from the important, and the important from the truly trivial. Through our tears, we see clearly what really matters. In the end, it's all about love. If we've loved deeply and loved well, we've lived worthy of the breath we were given. We're here today knowing that death wasn't just something that happened to Dee. It was something she accomplished because of the way she lived and the way she loved. And though her life was shorter than we would have hoped or longed for, her life was not incomplete. She satisfied her debt to the gift of having been given breath by the love that she planted among all of us and the care and compassion she brought to so many. And so we light a candle for that legacy of love. May this flame remind us of all that death cannot take from us. The love that Dee gave to the world, the love we will always feel for her, and the values that she imprinted on our hearts that will always be with us. These are the words of the poet Joy Harjo in a poem entitled Eagle Poem. To pray, you open your whole self, to sky, to earth, to sun, to moon, to one whole voice that is you. And know there's more that you can't see, can't hear, can't know except in moments, steadily growing. And in languages that aren't always sound, but other circles of motion. Like eagle that Sunday morning over Salt River, circled in blue sky. In wind, swept our hearts clean with sacred wings. We see you, see ourselves, and know that we must take the utmost care and kindness in all things. Breathe in, knowing we are made of all this. And breathe, knowing we are truly blessed because we're born and die soon in a true circle of motion. Like eagle, rounding out the morning inside us, we pray that it will be done in beauty, in beauty. We see you, see ourselves, and know that we must take the utmost care and kindness in all things. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? In a world where you can be anything, be kind. But what's simple isn't necessarily easy. To take the utmost care and kindness in all things is no small thing. But it was Dee's life work, and she made it look easy. As we reflect on her life, we learn some of the things that it takes. That kindness begins with attention, paying attention, being genuinely interested in one another. And then it requires intention, moving our attention into action, responding to what we see. All those simple but not easy acts of kindness we've witnessed in that life that we're here to celebrate. And kindness is powered by compassion. The kind of empathy that's at the core of good medical services, which Dee was integral to providing. The kind of empathy that makes people remember how you made them feel, welcomed, valued. The etymology of our language gives us a big clue that kindness wraps itself around the root of kin or kinship. That kindness has something, maybe everything to do with treating each other like we would treat our kin, like we would treat our kind, like we would wish ourselves to be treated. And kindness is often inconvenient. It's sometimes a rebellion against our first instincts. It's usually a choice. It requires an element of risk, whether what we offer will be received or rejected, valued or hardly noticed. It's sometimes a radical act to consider how to speak kindly without sacrificing honesty in a culture that's consumed with self-interest and self-care. It's sometimes radical to do what Dee did, to initiate kindness. And kindness requires mindfulness. Pay attention to our words, filtering our words and our actions at least 3 times. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it kind? And none of us do it perfectly. But kindness is so basic, so elemental to what it is to be human. Just as the poet we heard earlier, Joy Harjo reminds us. In this circle in which we live and die, taking the utmost care and kindness in all things isn't optional, it's essential. The survival of our planet, the survival of the more than human creatures with whom we share this magnificent planet, the survival of our communities, our homes, our human species depends on kindness, every bit as much as it depends on oxygen for survival. Dee's mentorship in teaching us to take the utmost care and kindness in all things teaches us that we don't have to be in positions of power or influence to change the world. Like Dee, each of us has the extraordinary capacity to change the shape of any given moment, any relationship, any transaction, any exchange, any counter, any meeting, if we'll practice kindness in the spaces we inhabit. Each of us, equipped with what's needed to change the world an inch, 2.54 centimeters at a time. It's simple, but not easy. And kindness is a cache of treasure hidden in plain sight. In the light of Dee's legacy, today is a day to renew our commitment to the most important work of our lives, to do as we've learned of Dee, to plant kindness in every possible GPS coordinate along life's highway.
That was a perfect segue. So I would like to share with Dee and Joyce and all of you, before I share the next tune, a little story. So when Joyce and I were communicating, I had sent her a list of the repertoire of my songs that I have for a celebration of life. And my partner and I, Colleen number 2, were talking ourselves about what songs we thought would be most appropriate for Dee. And we came up with Angels Among Us and Life's Highway. And it wasn't but the next day I got an email from Joyce saying, we're choosing Angels Among Us and Life Highway. Isn't that something? I mean, I had 60 songs on that list. So I think a little bit of Dee's divine intervention was being felt. So, and this is a fun song, so this is a perfect song to end this part with. So here we go. Sun is up, time's at hand. There's a stir across the land. So begins another day of life's highway. On city streets, down country roads, like a stream, the people flow. There's bread to win and tolls to pay on life's highway. There is hope with every turn, a bridge to build, a bridge to burn. So here's hoping you never go astray on life's highway. We are young, then we're old, passing through, then passing on, like the rose in bloom and fade on life's highway. Step by step, round and round, never knowing where we're bound, from the cradle through the grave on life's highway. There is hope with every turn, a bridge to build, a bridge to burn. Here's hoping you never go astray on life's highway. Sun is up, time's at hand. There's a stir across the land. So begins another day on life's highway. On life's highway. On life's highway.
In just a few moments, as we conclude this gathering, family will make their way from this space, and I'd ask each of you to follow them out and make your way outside for a few moments to have a breath of fresh air and allow us to transform this space into more conversational space where we can sit around tables and enjoy food and drink with each other. We'll invite you back in about 10 minutes, and when we come back in, you'll find food over here on the left on these long tables. You'll find beverages at the back wall near the kitchen window, and please feel free to take your place at any table and share your stories and your memories of Dee, and have an opportunity to connect with Joyce and other members of Dee's family. As we move from this circle, we take with us words of affirmation, words that take us into the way we will live in the light of Dee's legacy. I want to invite you to respond to the words I'll offer with the words that you see printed in yellow as we affirm our hope in this celebration of life and legacy. All our laughter, all our sadness, all our stories, all our memories, the one we remember, the ones we love. And so we go to live as we've learned, to live in the witness of Dee's life, the words of Henry James. 3 things are important in life. The first is to be kind. The second is to be kind. The third is to be kind. And so we go to practice kindness. And as we do, Dee's light will continue to shine in our hearts and continue to shine in the world. So we go in peace.
Somewhere that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where